Congratulations, you've completed the 12-week blueprint. You've transformed your body. You've proven to yourself that improvement is possible. You've built the habit of training. You're stronger than you were. You're healthier. You have more energy. You've achieved what most people don't believe is possible after a certain age. Now comes the interesting part. Because the question becomes, what next? Many people, when they finish the 12-week program, make a critical mistake. They either stop training, having achieved what they set out to do, or they continue doing the same workouts from week 12, week after week after week. Either option is a mistake. If you stop, everything you built starts to fade. The body adapts to inactivity the same way it adapts to activity. Use it or lose it. If you continue doing the exact same workouts week after week, you'll face what's called the plateau. Your body has adapted to the stimulus. It's no longer being challenged, so it stops improving. You do the same push-ups month after month and see no progress. You lift the same weight and don't get stronger. Your body finds equilibrium and maintains it. This is the critical juncture. Most people stop here. They've proven something to themselves, and they're content with that. But Jack LaLanne never stopped. He continued training for 70 years, and the reason he could continue improving for 70 years is because he understood the principles of continued progression. This is what months 4, 6, and beyond are about. This is how you continue building capability indefinitely. This is how you avoid plateaus and maintain momentum. This is the advanced progression system. The core principle is straightforward, but often misunderstood. Your body adapts to demand. To continue improving, you must continue increasing demand. But increasing demand doesn't mean doing more of the same thing. It means being strategic about how you increase demand. There are 3 primary strategies for progressive overload that Jack used. Strategy 1, rep progression. This is what you did in the 12-week program. You did 1 more rep. This week you did 10 push-ups, next week 11. This is effective, but it has limits. You can't do 50 push-ups in perfect form. At some point, adding reps becomes ineffective because form starts to break down. So, at month 4, you shift primary strategy. Reps still matter, but you're not focusing on doing as many reps as possible. You're focusing on the next strategy. Strategy 2, exercise variation. The push-up you're doing now is a standard push-up, but there are variations. You could do push-ups with feet elevated. You could do archer push-ups where you shift weight between arms. You could do one-arm push-ups. Each variation is harder than the one before. Each requires your body to adapt to new challenge. The same applies to all exercises. Bodyweight squats become pistol squats. Planks become planks with movement. Lunges become walking lunges or curtsy lunges. By rotating through exercise variations, you never plateau. Your body is always being asked to do something slightly different, which requires continued adaptation. Strategy 3, volume and density. Volume is total work, reps times sets times weight. If you do 3 sets of 10 push-ups, your volume is 30. If you do 4 sets of 10, volume is 40. Increasing volume increases stimulus. Density is volume per unit of time. If you do 30 push-ups in 10 minutes, density is 3 per minute. If you do 30 push-ups in 8 minutes, density is 3.75 per minute. Same volume, higher density. Higher density requires more intensity and power. Jack used both. He would increase total volume by adding sets or reps, but also by doing the work faster, higher density. This created continued stimulus without necessarily needing heavier weights or more difficult movements. Now, how do you actually implement this? For months 4, 6, your training structure changes slightly. Instead of 2 patterns repeated, Monday, Thursday, same, Tuesday, Friday, same, you're introducing variation and periodization. Month 4, structure. Monday, push-focused, chest, shoulders, triceps. Standard push-ups, 4 sets of 10-15 reps. Elevated push-ups, feet on step, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Dips, if available using chair or bench, 3 sets of 5-8 reps. Shoulder presses, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Tuesday, pull-focused, back, biceps. Pull-ups or assisted pull-ups, 4 sets of 6-10 reps. Inverted rows, under bar, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Bicep curls, using dumbbells or resistance bands, 3 sets of 10-15 reps. Face pulls, with band, 3 sets of 12-15 reps. Thursday, lower focused, legs, glutes, core, bodyweight squats, 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Bulgarian split squats, back foot elevated. 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps each leg. Glute bridges, 3 sets of 12 and 15 reps. Planks, 3 sets of 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Friday, full body plus conditioning. Circuit, perform exercises back to back without rest. 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 5 pull-ups. Repeat 5-8 rounds. This is notably different from the 12-week program. Why? You're introducing variety. You're organizing by movement pattern. You're adding volume. You're introducing circuit training. Month 5, structure. Month 5, you progress the variations to harder versions. Monday, push-focused, harder variations. Archer push-ups, weight shifts between arms. 4 sets of 5-8 reps each side. Diamond push-ups, hands close, elbows in, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Decline push-ups, feet elevated higher, 3 sets of 6-10 reps. Pike push-ups, pushing hips high, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Tuesday, pull-focused, harder variations. Weighted pull-ups, if possible using belt with weight, or much closer grip. 4 sets of 5-8 reps. Inverted rows with feet elevated, harder than month 4. 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Chin-ups, if different from pull-ups. 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. Dead hang holds, 3 sets of 30-60 seconds. Thursday, lower focused, harder variations. Pistol squats or assisted pistol squats. 3 sets of 5-8 reps each leg. Sissy squats, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Single leg glute bridges, 3 sets of 10-12 reps each leg. Plank variations. Plank with hip dips, plank shoulder taps. 3 sets of 12-15 reps. Friday, full body plus conditioning, higher density. Same circuit as month 4, but more rounds, 8 to 10 instead of 5-8. Harder variations, archer push-ups instead of regular. Shorter rest between rounds, month 6 structure. Month 6, you continue the progression, but also introduce periodization. What's periodization? It's varying intensity and volume strategically throughout the month. Week 1, volume, focus. More reps, more sets. Week 2, intensity, focus. Harder variations, heavier if using weights. Week 3, mixed, moderate volume and intensity. Week 4, recovery. Weak, lighter training, easier exercises. This allows your body to adapt at different stimuli, then recover, then come back stronger. What's important to understand is that you're not randomly changing exercises. You have a system, movement patterns, progressions, a clear path forward. The principles are increased difficulty through exercise variation, increased volume through more sets or higher density, increased intensity through harder movements, periodization to manage fatigue and allow recovery. Jack used this system indefinitely. At 90, he was doing advanced variations that most people can't do at any age. He was using progressive overload principles the same way a 25-year-old bodybuilder would, except adapted for his age and circumstances. Now, a critical piece is assessment. At month 6, you should do what we call a testing phase. Not maximum effort testing, but careful testing to see where you actually are. Can you do 10 perfect push-ups now? You couldn't at the start. Can you do pull-ups with good form? Many people couldn't at week 1. How many squats can you do before form breaks down? How long can you hold a plank? Document these. These are your new baselines. From month 6 onward, you're designing advanced programming based on these baselines. The advanced trainee mistakes to avoid. Mistake 1, adding too much complexity. You don't need to switch exercises every week. Stick with progression patterns. Master movements before moving to the next variation. Mistake 2, chasing exercise novelty. Advanced training doesn't mean constantly doing new exercises. It means intelligently progressing established exercises. Mistake 3, neglecting fundamentals. Perfect form gets sacrificed for harder variations. This is how you get injured. Form is always first. Mistake 4, underestimating recovery. Advanced training demands more recovery. Sleep becomes even more critical. Nutrition must support the training. Mistake 5, training ego. Trying to prove something to others. Advanced training is about personal improvement, not impressing anyone. Mistake 6, not recording progression. You must track what you're doing. Harder to remember at this stage, write it down. Now, looking beyond month 6, what's the long-term system? Jack's system for indefinite training involved months 1-3, foundation, basic movement patterns, building baseline strength and consistency. Months 4-6, intermediate progression, exercise variations, increased volume and density. Months 7-12, advanced progression, more difficult variations, lower rep ranges, higher intensity. Year 2+, specialization. If strength interests you, focus on strength. If conditioning interests you, focus on conditioning. If flexibility interests you, focus on flexibility. Build toward your specific goals. The beautiful part of this system is that it never ends. You never complete it. You're always progressing, always improving, always being challenged. This is how Jack LaLanne trained at 96. Not doing the same exercises at 96 that he did at 50, but continuously progressing, continuously being challenged. The other critical piece is understanding that training becomes more sophisticated, but it doesn't necessarily become more complicated. Jack trained his entire life using relatively simple movements: squats, push-ups, pull-ups, rowing, walking, swimming. These were his foundation forever. What changed was the progression, the variations, the volume, the intensity, not the movement library. So, moving forward from month 6, ask yourself, what do I want to build? Strength, conditioning, flexibility, muscle. Pick a focus. Not exclusively, you train everything, but with emphasis. If strength, lower reps, more sets, higher intensity variations. If conditioning, higher density circuits, shorter rest, varied movement patterns. If flexibility, more mobility work, ranges of motion testing, progressive stretching. If muscle, though less emphasis for aging athletes. Higher volume, slightly higher reps, more time under tension. You have 6 months of training. You've built significant capability. You've proven you can be consistent. Now, month 7 onward, you're customizing your advanced training toward your specific goals and interests. The final principle is knowing that training never gets easy in terms of effort, but it becomes familiar in terms of understanding. You understand how your body responds. You understand what drives progress. You understand how to program yourself. And paradoxically, this understanding makes advanced training more enjoyable, not less. Jack LaLanne could have stopped training at 50. He was fit. He'd proven his point. But he trained until 96 because the pursuit of improvement never lost its appeal. He understood the systems. He understood progression. And he organized his training around that understanding for 5 more decades. That's available to you. Month 4, 5, 6, and beyond. Continuous progression, continuous improvement, continuous challenge. All built on the foundation you've established in the 12-week blueprint. Now, if understanding the advanced progression system for months 4, 6, and beyond changed how you think about long-term training, hit that like button. This message needs to reach people who finish the 12-week program wondering what comes next. And if you're already beyond month 6 or planning to continue indefinitely, subscribe and let me know how you're progressing in the comments. Drop a comment. How far into the 12-week protocol are you? Or have you already completed it? What are you most excited to progress to in months 4, 6? I read every comment and I want to track your journey. If you know someone at the end of week 12, someone wondering if they should continue training, someone ready to level up, share this video with them. Show them that the progression continues indefinitely, that there's no finish line, just continuous improvement. You could keep someone training for decades by sharing this. The next video reveals specialized training protocols for specific goals, advanced strength training for serious muscle and power, conditioning protocols for endurance and athletic performance, and mobility protocols for flexibility and longevity. Choose your path. Link in the description and card appearing now. You've completed the foundation. Now you build your specialized house on that foundation. The next 6 months determines the direction of your training for years to come.